Just pretending. Normally just leave those on. Alright folks, what we're going to do here is I'm going to do a half-assed tutorial on the X-Plane 11.55 CRJ 200 by J. Rollins. And that's pretty much just the flow that I go through when I do this. None of these pages work down here, only the top row. That doesn't work. That does. All right. Can't uncage that. Just check the altimeters. 3028. Already set. Cross check them all. All good. Alright, does not simulate a anti-skid test. If you're going to do an anti-skid test, make sure your chock's in place, take the brake off. You can't do that with external power on. We'll pretend we did. And then test. Nothing there. Oh, the horn works. Alright, and overhead, MLG bay overheat test doesn't simulate that. You get some warnings there. You can't simulate cargo fire either. I did the fire test and fail. Squib test, can't simulate that. Cargo fire, test 1, test 2. Can't simulate that. Oops, sorry, Austin. Let's see, what else? Lamp test works. See how your lights lit up. I don't mess with this. Don't mess with any of this. This doesn't work. Radio check frequencies are all matched up. Only this side works. And most importantly, don't forget the alt dampers. Check it. They don't get any messages though. Nothing. Nope. Well, just make sure they're in. You can't do an oxygen check. Put on mask. You can't select PA, intercom. You can look at it, say you did. Engine oil lever. Nothing there. And make sure that these are set. Can't simulate that. You can pull this. This works. At least I think it does, but I'm not going to try it. And Always turn the marker beacon off. I shut this off too. Unless I need it. Tone does work on nav 1, nav 2. That's good. So does DME, I think. Marker beacon. Annoying. And we're in standby mode. And that's pretty much the preliminary stuff. Then I go ahead and program the FMC. I got a short flight here. Custom flight plan. And weather, Philly. Not much, favoring runway 26 or 27 right, what they're using, and departing on 27 left. 17 is optional. Alright, and wind's blowing at 180 today, so I'm going to be taking off from runway 13 for once. Alright, let's go ahead and we can say we're Sky West, or Endeavor. Uh, 1063, make up some. And departure, over on this side, gonna be 13 right. JFK 5, maybe. And let's see, now on the route here, it's gonna be a little tricky. I wanna go to Dixie. I'm gonna shortcut this. And let's see, what's the other one? I'll look at it real quick. No, not that page. I want this one. What I want to do is fly direct to Alpha Romeo Delta. That's 108.2 on the radio. This will really shorten up the flight by a lot. And just so I had enter these. Mike, Echo, November, Golf, Echo, Martin, Romeo, Tango, Indiana, November. Next page. That's to put us right on final. Oscar, and then Delta Alpha, Delta, November, Indiana, and then the runway identifier, missed approach, it's Madonna. Probably going to do is get a right turn towards Dixie and then get another right one towards Hitter. All right, let's take a look at it. Now this is a vector line here. So in reality, we're going to take off. Let's look at the departure for JFK. First, let's get the map, and let's get the Kennedy 85. Assigned heading. We'll start off on the runway heading, which I don't know what it is. 130. Flight director on. I'll recenter it when I get on the runway. Maximum climb is going to be 8,000 on this one. And let's see, vertical speed, because we don't have takeoff mode. Use that as a reference, 2,000. And what I could do, get rid of that line. Okay. I see if we head to Dixie, we've got to make another right-hand turn. What I'm going to do is I'm going to head towards Dixie and then skip that and head straight to Alpha Romeo Delta. Save us a lot of time. Probably ought to save that. Custom flight plan. Then go back to flight plan. Go to performance. I like no less than 85 is the minimum allowed. Go ahead and fudge your temperature to at 45. But it will not mark on the bug. Can't get it. Still stuck at 99.8. That's okay. Alright, now all that's done. Fuel is checked. Weight, just want to double check that one more time. 4,845, 9 rounds off to 46. We can also set our takeoff speeds. I wish they had speed cards in here. It's so much easier. Oh, this process here, I went through this whole lengthy deal. I ended up with a trim of something like 6.1, 6.4, but not really. In order to get that to be realistic, you got to go into the weight and balance and move the CG around. So right now, 7 point. Usually when you check the stall stick shake, you're supposed to be set at 6. I didn't do that. Anyway, at 20, given this weight on default, even that's not quite high enough. But we'll get into that some other time. What is important? Closest to 46, it flaps 20, so we're going to go ahead and go 127, 129, 136. So dial in 127. Select it. 129. .136. That does all that. Then go to FTO 176. And we're not going to burn a whole lot of gas on this one here, so then what I do is I go over here. We start out about 46. We're going to burn maybe down to there, 145, 137. So I just write that down, 145, 137. Let me go up one more here. Hold on. Back one. At the minimum, it'd be 143, 140. So I'm going to stick with 145, 137. I just remember that, and I reset that. Hopefully, remember to do that. I've got 147, 138, 44, 45, 46. Go up one more again. That's probably going to be more realistic. So I got either one. Either one of those would probably work. That'll be fast and slow. That means I'll probably float, but oh well. And back to JFK and the map. And we're going to taxi via take the outer Bravo, cut across, and take Papa to Papa Foxtrot all the way to the end. So that's that. Now what you can do, make sure all the lights turned up here. Pretty much all of that. You can simulate passenger sounds, which I think is pretty cool, as you're loading the aircraft, by simply selecting the seatbelt sign to auto. Doesn't make any difference if the doors open or close. It seems to work either way. Also, if you go down to MFD, you can put some clutter in there. Altitude you can't program in there. You're just going to have to go with what you got. Old school. Now, outside temperature is 39 degrees. It's pretty cold outside. I think we should power up the APU. So pre-start, we'll go ahead and select the pumps. We know we got to have APU, so we'll select power fuel first. Wait for the door open signal. And turn on the APU. The electrics page won't show it's supplying it's ready, but after you give it a minute or two, you can go ahead and load it. Generator. Then you can see that's all good. Now these pop-outs do work. I just don't use this pop-out because it's a pain in the ass. It gives me trouble. The rest of them are fine, including this one. All these are good. This one, not so good. After a couple of minutes, go ahead and get some AC going. Warm things up in here. Temperature set to auto. Go to environmental. See the temperature coming up. It's freezing. Landing elevation, there's Phillies roughly close to 40 feet. All bleeds are open. Including the isolation valve, that's right here. If I shut it off, now it's closed. And I'll turn it back on again. I'll need that for start. Now it's open. I can shut off one of the packs. That one's off. Back up again, you hear the air hissing. It's also cold enough to go ahead and turn on the probe heats. I usually forget those. Alright, now we've got internal power, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of external power unit. And make sure you do that. If you don't, you won't be able to get the brake off. And we'll wait for the passenger to load. You have volume control, 3D sounds, turn things up or down. I like it about where it's at right now. The elapsed time doesn't really work. You can, I guess use the chronometer. I want to try that, if I remember. All right, let's do a pushback plan. I don't believe I have one for CRJ. Straight back.
Round to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Okay. I guess we can get our load sheet now. We got almost everybody on board. Make sure that door is closed. Also, remember that this will work. Make damn sure that's closed. The cargo doors is closed. You can't check doors on this. Door page doesn't work. These are the flight control pigs. So if you've done that, it should be good to go. Pre-start, pump, APU, ignition, hydraulics. Go ahead and turn the beacon on. That'll trigger the passenger announcement. Check the nose where steering is off, and check the doors. We'll assume we did that. Now in a minute or less, you'll hear the flight attendant come on.
My name is Shannon. I'll be your flight attendant. Located in your seat back pocket is a passenger safety card which describes the safety features of this Canadair regional jet. Please follow along as I go over some important safety information. There are 4 clearly marked exits on board this aircraft. There are 2 in the front of the cabin.
Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
Locate the exit nearest you. In some cases, these exits may be behind you. In the event of a power loss, follow the floor illumination strips to the exit. The cabin is pressurized for your comfort and safety. In the unlikely event of a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen masks will fall from the panels above your head. Pull the mask firmly towards you to start the flow of oxygen. Place the mask over your nose and mouth and secure the elastic strap. Although the bag will not inflate, oxygen is flowing. Please secure your own mask before assisting others. Your seatbelt should be worn low and tight. To fasten your seatbelt, insert the flat metal fitting into the buckle until it clicks. To tighten, pull on the loose end of the strap, and to release, lift up on the buckle and pull apart. Your seat cushion can be used as a flotation device. To use, pull the cushion from the seat, place your arms to the straps.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to
Federal law
connect.
requires passenger compliance with lighted no smoking and seatbelt signs, all placards and crew member instructions, including the use of seatbelts, and prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying any smoke detector in an airplane lavatory. Your tray tables and seat backs should be in their upright and locked
Winching
position.
strap and adapter in
Nose
position.
completely
Release
underneath
parking
the
brake
seat
when ready to start
or an
pushback.
overhead bin. If you need any assistance throughout this flight, you can press your flight attendant call button located in that panel above your head. I appreciate your attention and invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy our flight. I'll now demonstrate to you the oxygen mask and seatbelt operation.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Now it will start with the packs on, but I'll go ahead and shut them off. All right, go ahead and start engine number. We're going to start both engines today, so I'll go with engine 1 first. That's such a habit of starting the right engine. There's the start valve. Oh, come on. Anything over 15 to 20, she's good to go. Spools up really fast. That's a cutout. Supposed to be a 51.
We'll need the first two.
ITT, and 1 and 2. All right, let's start the number 2. This light will go out automatically. All right, let's go ahead and fire it up. T rises. Off. APU. We don't need that. Put those back on. Fire up the batteries, generators. Turn off APU generator 1.
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Alright, go to hydraulics. Check fuel. There is a cross feed. We don't need a gravity feed. It does a pretty good job of staying in balance. 2460. Let's see what happens when I do this. Gravity flow. See, it's open. 2350 on the nut. Supposed to be automatic. Alright, now that we know that's done, we can turn the ignition off and we can go ahead and shut off the APU.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the right. We'll see you next time and have a great flight.
Trim flaps, 1-2 clicks on that. And also make sure our engine hydraulics are working. Turn that off, turn that off. All good. And leads are on. Ready to go. Check controls. Don't have a control page, so we'll just have to go through the motions here. And clearance to taxi. Runway 13 right. I usually just put the recognition. Like some people taxi with all these on. I use this at night. Better visibility. Clear right, clear left. Brakes release. Boost it up. You know, I've never tried something. One thing I want to check, just out of curiosity, put the brake on. Sometimes not in this model. You get a config warning. No, so much for that. One little glitch is on the outside. There's a puffing sound. It's not the engine; it's the wheels on the ground. Makes it sound like when you're taking off or when you're landing, you get this. Oh, I don't know how to describe it. I'll have to show it in a replay. Sound package comes separate. Right now it's on sale for about $16.09. So is the CRJ. They've discounted that as well. They slashed it, I think 30%. I don't know. Get it all for less than $50, right around that.
We'll need the first
did deselect all the ground traffic, but evidently this airport is one of the older JFK paywares. They'll get rid of the trucks. The only time they don't run is when you're in replay. frame rates too. I got it turned up pretty high. Not maxed out, but high enough. We're landing off center. I assume I'm right on it there. Let's see how close that is. I have to remember, right about here. Some operators taxi with all these on. Turn this off to the clear for takeoff. And now if you want to get the cabin crew ready, you just toggle the strobe light.
Cabin crew seats for departure.
Only 2 settings on the transponder, standby and R. That means TARA. No radar or terrain. Checks complete. Switching the tower. Clear for takeoff immediately. First thing I'll do is align the heading. Right about there. Power up to about 70. Give it a second. And bring her gradually up to about 85. It should be more than enough. Trim it. V1 and rotate. Positive rate, gear up. got a lot of power. Clean it up. I don't agree with the heading. That's better. Excuse me. 79 is more enough. We'll just let her speed up, contact departure, and get that right-hand turn, which is right about now. Parallel it. And at 2.4 she'll automatically sink when I hit 240. Boom, 240. No engine sink, unfortunately. So if you got a Bravo quadrant, it's a little more challenging. You don't get that much asymmetric thrust though. And we're clear to 8,000 S-file. Now what I want to do is make another right-hand turn to about 270. And proceed direct. And we're going to go ahead and speed up to 250. Back the power off a little bit. Target that rate of ascent. I'd like to be about 1,000 feet a minute when we get within 1,000 feet of our target altitude. On or off makes no difference to me. We're going to leave these on. We're below 10,000. And go ahead. She goes really fast. Got a lot of puff, a lot of thrust, especially at low altitude. Got to keep an eye on that speed. We're a little fast, but that's okay. Try to stay under 260. We're still going 255. And we wait until we get to where we're going. About 43 miles out, we'll probably drop down to 5,000 and step down to 3. This will put me right on it. 3028. Still holding at 3028. Philly is reporting 3030. And it wind's blowing at 205. Light. Maybe a little bit of crossing. Tad slow. The sound outside is pretty good too, up close. This one's not so good. I forgot to press this elapsed time deal here, and it's going to be less than an hour, so it's not going to really tell me much. I need to go on a longer flight for more than an hour to see how that works. It does say ET. Let's go ahead and push it. Yeah. Too late. Next flight, maybe. All right, let's say at this point here, let's wait till we get a little bit closer. They want us to drop down to 6,000. Just putting along at 250 knots, 8,000 feet. Philly, a little bit of a scenic route. See the skyline in the distance. Pretty calm day, no little bit of flip, a little bit of nothing. Sometimes you see the wing flexing a little. Now one thing I don't do is I don't arm the reversers. I do arm the speed brake. The reason is I have a Bravo quadrant and I have two selectors for reverse thrust. and I can control it. If I put this in an arm in this model, it goes to reverse thrust full throttle, full power. I don't want that. Sometimes I want to just go idle reverse, depending on the length of the runway and the conditions. So there's that. If you got one of those kind of deals and expensive alpha controls, you want to be mindful. Don't pretend you armed it, but don't arm it. Otherwise, they go to full power. Even if you got it down to flight idle. All right, so let's go ahead and mosey on down to 6,000 feet. Select speed, throttle back a little bit. And we'll coast on down to 250 knots. I'll probably want us to slow down to 240. But let's get down there first. You got a little banana bar here, tells you your whale out in front of that. We'll cross that at 6,000, then we'll drop to 3. Oh, maybe down to 4, then to 3. Let's say they're going to give us a shortcut. We're going to go straight to Minchi. Select heading. I'll have to intercept it. Continue descending down to 4,000. Check the altimeter. 3030. Cross check. And when able, they would like us to. Ooh, that's a little too much of an angle there. Let's go ahead and bring it back. Point it right at it. About. You got half bank too, and that does work. Limits to 15 degree. And then we could go full bank. We'll just fly right to the line. Yeah, it doesn't take you direct. It's kind of screwed up. And when able to deselect speed, us slow to 240. Little notch on the speed brake. Then reselect speed. Just 240. And we'll gently bring it down to 4,000 feet. Just our heading a little more right. Now when that centers, I'm going to go ahead and press nav. If I press it now, it might chase it. Let's see if it does. Nope, she'll hold. That's good. Got a good intercept. I think she'll grab it. Okay, now you want to power up. Not too much, not more than you were. Let's bring her back to about 54, 53. Whatever it takes. You got a little bit of a trend vector right here. You can barely see it. Let's see how well this nav buzz captures.
We'll need the first three closest.
See it coming on, it's just like a VOR. And she's captured it. She's starting to turn on. The autopilot in this thing works great. Not quite auto land, but it'll get you down to 100 feet. Now, no speeds, I said 147. So what I do is I set VR at the lower one, see 130, 138. And then V2, possible go around 147. And I'll go with that. And after crossing Minji, we'll drop to 3,000 feet, slow to 210. Slow to 210, drop to 3,000. Like us to slow unable to 210, but first let's go ahead and descend 3,000 feet. I'm going to pick 1,000 feet a minute, 900 feet a minute, somewhere right about there. Select V-speed, go to hot flight idle, dial this all the way down to 210 knots, so slowly slow down.
We'll need the first three closest.
About 600 feet a minute. Alright, back to speed, 210. They would like us to intercept this at 210 knots. Back there. Pick this up. test a visual approach, but we're going to test the autopilot approach mode. See how that works. Let it line up first. Maintain 210. So technically, you could also be considered this a VNAV. As far as lateral guidance goes, it's pretty accurate. I can barely see the runway lights from here. Let her wander about a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and lock the heading in case we need it. Oh, there's an altimeter change. What was that? Active sky acting up. This pisses me off when it does that. 3031. All right, let's go to the approach. Go ahead and lock into it. We're 8 miles out, according to that. Flight idle. And the only way to slow this thing down is to drop the first notch of flaps. We're probably going to have to drop the landing gear. But she really, really, really wants to fly fast. Reset heading. And turn this on if we're clear to land. Let's drop the wheels and slow down. Now we get about 2,000 feet. Keep slowing, keep slowing. Throw some drag in there. Alright, we got 3 green. Second notch of flaps. Approaching our first target, 176. Ooh, she's diving. Okay, let's try to get her down to approach speed. Second notch of flaps. Start goosing the throttles. Want to target number 2. Around close to 50. This took me the longest time to figure that out. Okay, landing flaps. Looks like 55. Give me a safe margin there. Alright, make sure this is armed. Let's pretend we armed the reverse thrust. Slowly get it down to just about 137, 135. Not too much.
500.
I just try to go by the sound of the engine.
300.
Wind's coming from the left. 100. Little bit of a bounce there, reverse thrust. Speed brakes are already deployed. Okay. I assume the speed brakes are out. I hope so. to find out when I get off this runway. Bring this off here. A little bit of a hop there, I didn't expect that. Okay, once we're clear, we can go ahead and turn off the strobe. That will trigger another announcement. Retract the flaps. And stow the speed brakes.
When the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign, use caution when opening the overhead bins. Items may have shifted during flight and could fall out.
And proceed to our gate.
Go ahead and use your cell phone to make phone calls at this time, but we'd like to ask you, please.
Now, importantly, I want to go ahead and reset this. Start the APU, wait for the door open, should come up. Doesn't have to do it again. There she goes.
Folks, it has been a pleasure sharing part of our day with you. We know that you have many choices when you fly. Go out, buckle up, be safe, be kind to one another, and get back and see us.
That's ready. Go ahead and get some air blown again. And let's see, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's park, I don't know, let's pick that gate. Okay, the lights should have been off already. They are. Reconnection, we'll leave those on, leave these off. You find at night the nose light works really good. Flight director can come off. Bleeder is on. We don't need the engine bleeds. We're going to close those out. And I forgot to turn them. Oh yeah, I did turn the probes on. All right. Man, we don't need that either. Turn off everything you don't need. Let's see. Is that where I want to go? Yep. You can also shut off the left engine. You don't need that. Turn the generator off. You don't need it off either one of them. Kill the left engine. Gotta go to idle though. Alright, gets rid of that. Throttle up the other engine. Just goose it. Luggage is on the left, so I shut off the left. This way they can start grabbing and slinging bags right away. Taxi's alright on one engine. She flies pretty good too. Actually, she's taxiing too fast. Turn this light off. Just have to goose the engine more. And come to a complete stop. Put the brake on. If I get it to go on, there we go. There's just a click, and then all you gotta do is click, and you're done. Rotating beacon can now come off. And the hydraulics, we don't need this. We don't need this. Well, we might for the door. I don't know. Maybe a few systems we want to have that on. And the fuel pumps can come off. And we'll leave the AC running, and what else? Turned all that off. Seatbelt sign, don't turn those. You can pretend you turn them off. Go like this, because otherwise you'll lose your cabin sounds. So what this does is this triggers, the strobe will trigger preparing the cabin for takeoff. The beacon will trigger the flight attendant, and what else? Did I turn that off? Yeah, I did. I don't remember hearing the announcements. I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, that triggers that. This will trigger the passenger sounds. What else is there? I think that's pretty much all that. You know what's odd? That door opens all by itself. I kept thinking I left the door open for the longest time, but I didn't. And then you get them out. Make sure that's down all the way. Jump outside. Well, personally, I think it's pretty cool. I like it. A lot of fun to fly. A little bit challenging to land. That took me a while. Still working on that. Matter of fact, I'm going to watch that replay here. I'll stop here and see if I can rewind it. Okay, we'll look at it from right about here. Almost looks like I'm slightly left into the wind. Slowly transition down. A little bit, not bad. It doesn't record the reversers on. Sometimes I can catch them on, but then you can't get them off, or sometimes they're off, they won't go on. They're on, but it doesn't show it in replay. So that's not too bad. Let's see what it was like for the passengers. Stop right about here. Okay, sitting just behind the wing. And there's the city of Philadelphia, city of brotherly love. Hello, Philly.
1,000.
You have to remember, when you have no leading edge slats, you got to keep that nose at or just below the horizon all the way down to about 50 feet, and then go flat. Don't raise that nose until you get down to about 10 feet. Power all the way to cutoff, and then juggle it on. It's a pain in the ass, not easy. You get a gust of wind.
100.
Well, we saw that. It is somewhat of a runway hog. We're no bigger than light as it is.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20.
And then all the way to idle.
2.
We didn't bounce that much. The spoilers work great. Well, it's not half bad. All right, let's stop here. Okay, let's play with these for a second. Let's see if we can trigger something here. Let's try the beacon first.
I'll be your flight attendant.
I didn't time it. It takes about 30 seconds.
Describe the safety features of this Canadair regional jet. Please follow along as I go over some important safety information. There are 4 clearly marked exits on board this aircraft. There are 2 in the front of the cabin and 2 over the wings. Please take a moment to locate the exit nearest you. In some cases, these exits may be behind you. In the event of a power loss, follow the floor illumination strips to
Looks
the exit.
familiar.
The cabin is pressurized for your comfort and safety.
Hey, Austin.
In the unlikely event of a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen mask will
You can make him disappear.
Pull the mask
Reappear.
firmly towards you to start the
I
full
leave them in
oxygen.
so the outside
Place the
view.
mask over your nose.
Now, if you're not in there, like if I
Circle
go
back, rotating into the buckle until it clicks. To tighten, pull
Let's see,
on the
back
loose
here.
end of the strap, and to release, lift up on the buckle and pull apart.
Oh, it shows me. I didn't think it did.
Is prohibited in the cabin and lavatories at all times. Federal law requires passenger compliance with lighted no smoking and seatbelt signs, all placards and crew member instructions, including the use of seatbelts, and prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying any smoke detector in an airplane lavatory. Your tray tables and seat backs should be in their upright and locked positions, all carrying items stowed completely underneath the seat in front of you or in an overhead bin. If you need any assistance throughout this flight, you can press your flight attendant call button located in that panel above your head. I appreciate your attention and invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy our flight. I'll now demonstrate to you the oxygen mask and seatbelt operation.
Okay, that's the beacon. Now what happens when you hit the strobe the first time?
Cabin proceeds with departure.
Okay. Now it's what happens when we shut the thing off. Let's see if it works.
Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened, no seat backs and tray tables in their full upright and locked position, and all carry-on items completely stowed until we arrive at the gate. When the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign, use caution when opening your word in. Items may have shifted during flight and could fall out. You can go ahead and use your cell phone to make phone calls at this time, but we'd like to ask you, please, do not stand up or remove any carry-on items to obtain your cell phone. If any of you are making a connection here, just proceed into the terminal and check the monitor for your connecting flight and gate number. Folks, it has been a pleasure sharing part of our day with you. We know that you have many choices when you fly. Go out, buckle up, be safe, be kind to one another, and get back at you.
I think it's really cool. So there it is, the CRJ 200 by J. Rollins, and X-Plane 11.55. Originally, I think it came out in X-Plane 9 or X-Plane 10. Been around for a long time. Would love to see an updated version of this. Last time, I think, was 2019. Anything was done to it. If it were full system operational, or at least 80%, that'd really be cool. 80 simulations, Delta Wing, the CRJ 900 and the 700 aren't planning on ironing out any bugs until after the new year, 2023. So it's going to be a while for that. X-Plane 12, for me, it's a no-go. It just gets quieter when I close the door. Oh, it's much better. And then you want to shut off the passenger sound, just turn that off. Seatbelt smoking sign doesn't do anything. I use that as a seatbelt sign. This is my sound sign here. On or off. And this is backwards. I mean, I'm not complaining. I mean, this thing is fantastic. It's great to fly. Flying wise, it's really great. Challenging to land. Doesn't have leading edge slats, so there's that. Sadly, the 900 and the 700 are having some issues right now. Tried to be a skunk craft to update them and just not having any luck. I just keep having missing files constantly popping up. So they're aware of it, and eventually I'll hopefully see that ironed out. I would love to see a new version of this come out, provided they don't mess up the autopilot. Better FMC on both accounts. Based on the current price right now, if it's still on sale, I'd recommend it. I enjoy it. I'm going to fly it for probably a little longer. And again, I'm going to hold off some X-Plane 12. There's still a lot of bugs going on there. I do have the demo version, and I did try it with a friend who also has it, and not so good. Not ready. Not a whole lot of change up. Graphics are a little better, but the turbulence was outrageous. Clouds could do better, and they don't have active sky. I gotta have active sky. Let's be realistic also. If I don't have that, I ain't flying it. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed it. Until then, see ya on the next one. Bye-bye.